Are you struggling? Are you struggling with shame? What a shame! What a shame in my name! It is serious, I know. It is overwhelming, it is paralyzing. And it's shame, what a shame in my name! What a shame in my name! Sorry. We all feel shame at times, and there's a difference between feeling guilty and feeling shame. What'd you do? Well, when we do something that we consider right or wrong, and if you consider it wrong, we might feel guilty, and that bad vibe, bad energy will motivate us to make amendments, repairs, or motivate us to change. Are you? Are you prepared to change? Are you ready to change? Do you want to change? Well, that's sort of a healthy part of being a human being. We have this spectrum of emotions, from negative to positive, or less desired and more desired. Less desired is anger, sadness, anxiety, frustration, depression, and more desired is calm, relaxed, contented, happy, joyful, blissful, or feeling blissful. Now, with shame, it's an emotion that doesn't feel good, neither guilt. Guilt doesn't feel good. Perhaps you've eaten a chocolate and you told your kids they're not allowed to eat, and you feel guilt for not having the same standards, or hiding behind their back and eating. Is it you? I've done that because you don't want to pass. Because you don't want to pass your bad habits to those that you care and that matter to you. You want to influence and pass on your good genes, your good habits, yes. But not the bad ones. So it might seem to be unfair. So you could make amendments, and you could consider your actions and perhaps have an approach. I'll be fair and have the same behavior, or the same deal the same way in order to be fair. So no chocolate for you, no chocolate for me. However, when we feel guilty, no, we can apologize to something different, and that is a lighter sort of feeling, and it's easier to come out of it. On the other spectrum, when we feel shame on you. When you feel shame, it feels that there's something wrong with our person, something that we can't change, that we are defected, there's a faultiness, and it feels terrible. And we can feel that shame either because we've engaged in a behavior that is not to the standard, our standard, or someone else's standard. It can also be because someone might have labelled us as, you're not capable of doing this, you shouldn't be here, you're stupid. And they could put these mean labels, perhaps when we were growing up, perhaps when we were in education, or perhaps by others, friends, family, colleagues. And we might feel, or even labelled by us, we might have these standards that we don't meet, and then we feel that There's something wrong with us as a person. And it feels dark and heavy, and it can be paralyzing at times, and it doesn't feel good. You know that. You know that. I know that. For instance, say if I wish to have a certain behaviour, and then I fail to meet that behaviour, instead of focusing on the progress, I focus on the fact that I didn't achieve that, so I can feel bad about it. Just giving something like that, because this is a public spectrum. Not revealing my secret. However, sometimes that shame has been triggered because we may or may have, many times, we might have grown with being labelled as bad, and also we might have unconsciously interpreted as being bad, as not being worthy of love, attention. Or perhaps if someone mistreated us and hurt us, we might think, why would you hurt and mistreat someone? And when you are growing up, when you're too young, you don't understand that perhaps people did or engage in those behaviours because they couldn't manage their emotions, because they perceived the threat where there was no threat, perhaps because they were too stressed, too angry, too overwhelmed, and they did not know how to manage that, so they were mean and mistreated us. So we carry this shame with us, and it feels paralyzing, and it feels horrible, and it stops you from wanting to do something, or instead of go on your journey, it might even stop you from with your plans. So to make peace with shame, we're going to acknowledge that it is not our fault that we were mistreated. It is not our fault. So we can say, the first person, it's not my fault that I was mistreated. And you can close your eyes and say, it's not my fault that I was mistreated. It's not my fault that I was treated badly. There is nothing wrong with me. I might have some behaviours that I might need learning, adjusting, but there's nothing wrong with me. I'm worthy of being respected. I'm worthy of being loved. I'm worthy of being accepted just the way I am, with my strength and weakness, with my positives and negatives. I am worthy of respect. I'm worthy of being respected. I deserve to be respected. I am worthy and deserve to be loved. I'm worthy and deserve to be supported. Just sit with the feelings that might have arisen in you for a moment or two. And when you have those voices coming in, those critical voices that come into your head, saying things. Perhaps you're not lovable, or there's something wrong with you, or you're stupid, or you are a failure. Just identify whose voices are these. Where did you pick them up? Sit with it for a moment. Who says that I am a failure? Who says that? Who says that I'm not worthy? Who says that I don't deserve respect? Who says that I'm a scum? Sit with it. And you will identify a voice from your past, or even from your present, or even your own critical voice. And just go, okay, that's your perspective, that's your opinion. I choose to see the worthy of me. I choose to lift myself with courage and strength and tenderness and love. I choose to connect with my heart, my love, and be grateful for my strength and positives. I choose to see my light, but also I embrace my negatives, my faults, my flaws, my darkness, and I embrace with compassion, with love, with optimism that I can learn, that I can modify, that I can make progress. It's not my fault that I might have been exposed to things that I shouldn't have been exposed to. It's not my fault that my body overreacts whenever it perceives a threat. It's not my fault that my nervous system is trying to protect me and is misinterpreting experiences. It's not my fault that I'm misinterpreting the signs that my body is giving me. I'm learning. I am a human being. I'm worthy of learning. I am capable of learning. I am good enough. I'm worthy enough. I'm lovable enough. I'll rise, I'll fall. I'll learn, and at times I'll go back to my old habits. But it's all part of the cycle of life. We are exposed to suffering. We are exposed to suffering that we didn't ask for, that we did not deserve. And then we feel hurt. And it does take time to heal and recover. It does take time to learn ourselves. It does take time to overcome and cultivate new habits. And in the meantime, I'm going to celebrate the steps that I've taken in the direction of my goals, my wishes, my desires. I'll be patient with myself, others and circumstances. I'll be compassionate to myself, others, and the circumstances. I'm going to focus on the good, the positives, the things that I'm learning, the things that I'm looking forward, the progress that I've made. Shame does paralyze you. However, you don't need to be stuck there. You can feel that pain, that darkness, that hurt, and you can sit for as long as you need in order to heal, to discover yourself. And then you can make your transition towards the light. Towards being the kind of person that has behaviors that can be learned, that can be changed. We are humans, and humans are worthy of respect, all of them. Love, compassion, being treated well, all of them, all of us. And all of us have behaviors that are healthy and balanced and support us, and some behaviors that may need adjusting and modifying. Together we can do this. I can do this. You can do this. We can raise above. We can make the amendments we need. We can be self-compassionate. We can even reflect on our standards. Are we reaching for perfectionism? Is what we're expecting of ourselves realistic? Taking into account what our brains and bodies and minds and emotions have been exposed to. Is it really realistic to go from 0 to hero just like that? Or is it more realistic to accept baby achievements, to notice the progress, to put the blame where it belongs in the past, to allow the hurt to heal and recover? Notice when you are hiding your shame, perhaps through criticizing others, so that you don't have to deal and face your vulnerabilities. But don't be hard on yourself. Just have self-compassion and use that as an opportunity to get to know yourself, to get to know your vulnerability. To get to know your vulnerabilities. To accept that you are hurting. To accept that healing does take time, is a journey. Let's let go hurt, shame, guilt that we may have within ourselves by exhaling. Close the other nostril and exhale fully. One more. Empty your lungs. Let go of shame. Breathe in. Hold and breathe out. We're going to inhale into the belly. Hold. Out. we are capable of learning, of adjusting, of creating new habits, of separating ourselves as a person to our behaviors. Behaviors can be adjusted, can be learned, can be unlearned. The person is the core of who you are, and that core does not change. You are wonderful, lovable, worthy human being, and you deserve to be respected, loved, and accepted. And that is an entity on its own, and it is whole, and it is perfect. And as human beings, we have behaviors. As humans, we all have behaviors that are adaptive. Some of them are healthy and positives and bring us positive consequences, and some of them are maladaptive. And we've created them because we've observed, or as a survival, or as a coping mechanism. But we can replace those for other more balanced behaviors. So when you see that there's something wrong with you, pause, sit with that emotion and allow the grief to come through. And then when it's time to say goodbye, just say, I no longer need to hold on to these thoughts, beliefs. Then let go. By exhalation. And then you take a breath into your belly. Hold on to it. And exhale. I am not my behaviors, but I am responsible for my behaviors. My behaviors do not define me. My thoughts do not define me. My behaviors do, but I can modify my behaviors. I am a person that can engage in positive or negative behaviors, healthy or unhealthy, and I can choose. My behavior does not define me. It's not my behavior that defines if I'm smart or stupid, lovable or unlovable. It is my behavior is simply an example of it is adaptive, healthy, positive, supportive or not. And that behavior can be changed. We can let go. It is hard. It does take time, it does take work, but it is possible. You can do this. Breathe into your belly. Hold on to that possibility. And let go. A lot of love from my heart. You can do this.